Hello YouTube, my name is Foster, Australian for beer and American for your parents so I didn't love you. So I started a dating app against my better judgment. Gonna have some more to say about that later, but it made me start thinking about social media and how it influences our self-perception. Specifically like Instagram, Facebook, and dating apps in particular, I think. When a lot, not all, but when a lot of people post, they post about the good things that are happening in their life, or they're more likely to post about those, like new jobs, new relationships, updates in relationships, kids, etc. You know, the big milestones of life. Even the people who don't use Facebook that much will still post about this to Facebook or other social media. And this usually gets a lot of fanfare, like shit tons of likes. I'm sure you guys have experienced this, both you personally and with others. But I think that this focus on just the best moments of life lead us to this false imaginary world where everybody has this perfect life, where there's no in-between bits of struggle, of hardship, of boredom between the good points of life. Everybody has those. Everybody has sadness. Everybody has struggles, and that's not even including stuff that's history, like traumatic events or losing friends and loved ones, because death is just as much a part of life as any other part. So I think that this gives us a false viewpoint of life. And then when it comes to dating apps, it dials this up to 11, because on the one hand, when you post to social media like Facebook or Instagram, you have this pressure that you feel often to get as many likes as possible. I know I felt that. I know many other people feel that. Not everybody does, but it's pervasive enough to be a talking point at the very least. So you feel this. You can often feel this pressure to get as many likes as possible, and this can lead to pandering to your audience, which before social media only writers ever had to worry about. Really, writers, playwrights, and primarily television show writers, really. And that's where you start to edit, or you start to falsify, or start to tweak just a little tiny bit, or even if you don't necessarily go as far as falsifying, you might hide away some of the things that might not get as much traction, but you might bring forward some of the things that you think might get traction. And I've run afoul of this several times, like where there was something that I maybe felt was, a little important, but nobody liked it, and so I just ended up deleting the post, hiding away even the shame of not getting many likes. Like, as silly as that is, it was that important to me. But with dating apps, it's not about just getting more likes. It's not about growing a fan base. It's not about just gaining social media prominence. Your success or failure, or your ability to come across as this perfect being, hinders whether or not you'll actually end up meeting people at all, getting even the option for a relationship down the line. And that's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. But the apps, by their very nature, this is the only way that they can come across. Like, you either have to look perfect, which, if that's not an option, then you have to have the perfect bio, or you have to have the perfect background stuff going on in your pictures. Like, you have to come across as this amazing, perfect person, despite that we're all just people. All of us, every single one of us. And what I know about people is that there's not a lot of difference between us in terms of quality. There are bad people, but I think more often than there are genuinely bad people, there's misunderstood people, there's struggling people, there's people who have made mistakes. And I get upset by these apps because it feels like there's no other way to meet people. Like, there's that, or there's going out drinking, which I don't do. So I kind of have to resort to just dating apps, and despite that I look like this, trying my best to find somebody. Oh my god, it's not fun. I don't think it's fun for anybody. I don't think anybody enjoys it. Most of the people there are downtrodden by life and have been beaten back so many times that this is their only option. So a lot of the people on there are just not in a good place, and they're looking for somebody to heal them. But the issue is, most of that time, the only person that has any shot at healing them is either themselves or a healthcare professional, and not some random person that you're kind of just talking because you want to have sex with them. So yeah, but that part, that last little bit, that was predominant in dating of other kinds, like where you would meet up at a bar and, like that's very pervasive in one night stand culture. But it's just, we've adopted that and we've repackaged it into these apps, where you can have the leisure of judgment at any time of the day or night. And I don't like it. I don't know anybody that genuinely does. Well, except for maybe a couple of the hot guys who only want sex and are willing to say anything to get that. But, fuck those morons, so. Oh well. Leave your thoughts down below. Tell me what you think. Have you tried dating apps? What's your worst dating app experience? Feel free to post down below in the comments. Let's get a conversation going. I'm going to start with my worst dating app experience, the one that I swore off dating apps forever until urged by my friend Mary, who's been on the channel, to give it one last try. I'm thinking she was wrong, but I don't know. Anyway, but here's Foster's worst fucking Tinder date ever. So I only matched with like 3 people in all the time that I tried it. It was like a month. And I only matched with 3 people. 2 of them were like spam accounts, and then one of them was this girl. We talked. She seemed nice enough. We talked on the phone a little bit. Met up for a date. We go to Hacienda. I pay for everything because it's just how I was raised. And oh man, she talked the entire time, which, keep in mind, is fine by me. Like, I'm not very good at talking. So the more that you do, the more that I can just listen. I'm okay with that. The issue came in when with what she talked about. The 3 things that she brought up, this is the first date, first time we met, mind you. Her exes, guys she was currently interested in, and how unfair life had been to her. This is a good 30 minutes, just, I did not know, I just sat there, I couldn't get a word in edgewise. It was, yeah, pretty crazy. Oh, God. I'm gunning straight for another one of those dates. I just know it. Yeah. Alright. Well, catch you guys later. Have a great night and a wonderful life. I love you. Bye.